Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today we're doing a practice circling around the Vyana Vayu. Vyana is an energy that is centered in the heart. It's a circulating energy. So like the heart, it circulates the blood and the oxygen through the body. It moves from the center out to the periphery of the body and back into the heart, or from the heart out to the horizon, out into the universe and back into the heart. So we'll be doing lots of big movements to flow through the body with not only our blood and our lymph, but also with our ideas and emotions, just kind of loosening everything up and getting it circulated. Let's start by taking a seat where you can be comfortable with an upright spine. And today we're going to start with Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. So we're circulating the energy up the left side of the body from the lower abdomen, up the Ida, or the channel of the moon that comes up the left side of the body, up to the nostril, down the right side of the body, which is the sun side of the body, and then back up the right side of the body, up the side of the spine, up the right, and over and down the left. So this is a circulation of energy and breath that balances the right and left sides of the body. These nadi, these Nadi, they are channels in yogic philosophy and Ayurvedic healing philosophy through which subtle energy flow. Bring your peace fingers up, bring those down, and bring up your thumb and your ring finger. Your thumb can come to your right nostril and your ring finger will come to your left nostril. These peace fingers could be down or they could be up to your third eye. So that is your choice. Bringing the thumb to the right nostril, inhale from the bottom of the abdomen up through the left nostril. Then let the air turn, bring the ring finger to the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale up the right side of the spine. And turn and let the air come down through the left side of the spine. Inhale up the left moon side of the body. Close left nostril, exhale down the right side. Inhale up the right sun side of the body. Exhale down the left side. And continue. This is a calming breath, a balancing breath, a circulating breath. Next time you exhale out of your left nostril, let that be the last time. And bring your hands to your thighs. And just let your body come back to its natural breath. Checking in, seeing if things are circulating a little bit differently. And then removing if there's anything high underneath your hips, coming onto a blanket. And beginning a side bend, opening up the lateral side of the body, keeping a big beach ball under the underside of your body, no big hinges in the spine. And we come to a poem, the last part of a poem, On the Pulse of Morning by Maya Angelou, this time about the tree. We hear the first and last of every tree speak to humankind today. Come to me, here beside the river. Plant yourself beside the river. And coming back through center, bring hand over to the opposite thigh, Other hand comes behind, just gazing towards the left, long through the spine, and an easy spiral of the spine. Bring the arms around, an easy spiral in the other direction. Here, root yourselves beside me. I am that tree planted by the river. I will not be moved. One more time to each side, imagining that you are this tree, roots planted deep down into the moisture and soil beside the river, stable and strong, circulating all that moisture and nourishment through you. Now we're going to lie down. But as we do that, give your knees a little hug, hands on your shins, and just roll back, maybe directly across your spine or to the side of the spine if you don't have any worries about the spine. And always modify any way you need to as we go through this practice. And one last roll back and come to a lying position. Bring hands and feet straight up and just shake, shaking down through hands and arms and feet and legs, letting all the lymph and blood and detritus and good nutrition come back towards the heart. Then bring the arms so that they're coming out from the shoulders. Legs are extended up, and open the legs and bring them together in a big circle, circling the legs. Bringing the mind's eye to the heart, feeling the heart as it circulates the oxygen and the blood out to the very tips of the toes and the tips of the fingers and back around. The heart keeping its beating going no matter what we are doing. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the legs down, extend them out. Now we're going to raise head and shoulders, bring our arms straight down towards our feet, and then maybe with a little help from elbows, we're going to sit up. The knees can be slightly bent here, that's fine, let them be soft. Eyes go towards your toes, fingers go towards your toes as you come up. Now we're going to shake this up a little bit by bringing a bit of a circle here. As we come down, we're going to come down onto our left shoulder, across the shoulders onto the, that was my right shoulder, sorry, onto my left shoulder, and up. And you can always use your elbows for a little bit of support. So coming down onto the left shoulder, across to the right shoulder. Right here, you can use your elbow to bring yourself back up. And then coming back onto that same shoulder and across the shoulders and up. Again, you might use your elbow for a little bit of support. So you get the point, coming across the shoulders, creating a kind of circle here, and then coming back up. Always free to modify completely for something else or use the elbow to come up. And one more time, coming back onto one shoulder, across the shoulders, and up, and come back. Let's come to a tabletop position. Let the knees be wide and the feet coming towards each other. Hands are extended out in front a bit. Hips stay high as you just stretch back from your extended fingertips through the heart, up through the hips. Just enjoy this stretch for a moment. Then bringing the knees parallel, we'll come forward. The hips come forward, strong through the thighs and up through the torso into up dog with knees down. And then come up through downward dog. Knees come down, hips come back for an extension. Come forward into up dog, strong through the glutes, opening through the front of the body, lots of support through the engagement of the torso. Up through downward dog. Knees come down, hips come back, extend through the arms, forward into a form of up dog, and then up through downward dog, down through knees, hips back, forward through knee down, up dog. One more time, lifting up into downward dog, knees down, hips back, and let's come forward into Sphinx this time, pausing for a moment, letting the body assimilate some of the circulation of energy that is happening. Letting yourself feel your roots going down into the bank of the river, joining the trees. And then pushing back, we're going to come up into a standing position. Bring the feet so that they are under the hips, just slightly pigeon-toed, so the sides of the feet are parallel with the sides of the mat or the ends of the mat. Let your roots come down through the earth as your heels and the mounds of your big toes ground down, and then lift up through your trunk, through your branches, up through your crown, through the canopy to the light. Bring the hands to the heart, one hand on top of each other at the heart. Inhale, spread the arms wide. Imagine the energy of the heart, that circulating energy, circulating out into the world, towards the horizon. And on the exhale, bringing hands back and bringing all the energy back to the heart. Inhale, energy flows out. Exhale, bring that energy back to the heart. Inhale wide out to the universe. And let that energy come back to nourish the heart. Likewise, the heart reaches out to nourish all around and receives the nourishment back. One last time. Hands come to the side, and we're going to bring the chin to the chest. And gaze rises as chin rises, easy on the back of the neck. Eyes go down, soften, and as they rise back to our poem, lift up your eyes upon this day, breaking for you. Chin to chest, raise up, give birth again to the dream. Always the hope of new growth and a dawn of light. And come down with eyes to the horizon. Make a circle with the nose, a small circle, careful of any dizziness. Bring the nose round for 3, 2, and 1, and then round the opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, so shoulders relaxed, and 1. Nose comes back through center. Inhale, shoulders up through ears, bringing the shoulder blades together and down and back and around, up to the ears, and squeeze them together, bring them down, let them come apart in the back and up. One more time, round, and then back around the opposite direction. For 3, 2, and 1. Now let's circle the hips. Feet come a little wider than hip widths apart. Let the hands be loose at the side, shoulders are relaxed, and arms are heavy. And then begin to turn the hips. And you might be turning just the hips, or you might feel that turn coming up through the ribs, even up to the area below the skull. For 3, 2, and 1. And back around the opposite direction. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing circulation to the joints and plenty of lymph and blood and nutrients coming through the body. Hands come down on the bottom of the front of the thighs, and bring the fingertips over the kneecaps and circle the knees. Ankles are close together. Knees are circling, going around the periphery of the feet as well, and ankles are circling as well. For 3, 2, and 1, and circling around the other direction. For 3, 2, and 1. Coming up to standing, bringing the feet a little wider than hip width apart, become very buoyant with soft knees and soft hips. Imagine there's a big wheel in front of you that you are turning. Turn the wheel over to one side, bring it down and over to the other side and up. Making the wheel turn, or imagining perhaps that the wheel is turning you. That the wheel brings you up and over and then gives you a ride down and up, making your whole body a little lighter as you give the energy that is circulating over to this magic wheel in front of you. One more time round in this direction, and then round the other direction. Let that imaginary wheel just turn you, somewhat like the breath that we, of course, can control, but which often is just happening, circulating. The heart is just beating, circulating the blood. And it is the heart, the breath, the world circulating us. And one more time round. And come back through center. Feet come even wider apart. Let's start with a big side bend. Hand comes down the thigh, other hand comes over the top, keeping a soft, silky spine, not hinging too much at the waist, keeping some bow in the outer side of the ribs. One more time to each side. Then back through center, become a star. Reach out with your fingertips, ground down through your toes, and then we're going to come into goddess. So wiggle the feet around, find your width here. Toes are slightly out towards the corners, and tailbone is coming straight down towards the earth. Inhale up, exhale back through goddess. Inhale up, goddess, and up. Coming into star once again. Hand comes to opposite ankle or shin and open up in a twist on that side. Strong through the belly as you come up and across to the other side. One more time on each side. Spread from heart out through the fingertips and then bring that hand down to the leg. Open up to the side and another twist to the other side and come up through center. Let's come into goddess one more time for 3, 2, and 1. And come up through center. We're going to come into a tree pose because we are being trees by the river who are strong and will not be moved, our roots deep. So we practice this bodily in our tree pose. You can always have a chair near you or a side of a sofa to give you a little bit of support. Find your support leg or your foundation leg. Bring your weight of your hip joint down into that heel and across to the mound of the big toe. Strong through the muscles on the side of the hip, no flaring out. Nice, strong, dynamic energy coming up through the body. And then coming up on the toe of the other foot and turning slightly, opening through the groin and the knee. So get the knee used to that and the hip used to that motion. Then you might bring the toe to the mat and the heel just above the ankle, and that might be where you stay with your hands at heart center. Or you might come up with foot against calf, or you might bring the foot up against the thigh. Thigh against foot, foot against thigh, wobbling as you need to. Hands to the center core of your heart, and perhaps lifting your branches up. Plant yourself by the river. For 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Establish the other foundation leg as your trunk. Root down, ground down, bring that dynamic energy up through your tree. Find your place for your foot. Root down, lift up. Branches might reach up. Root yourself. Root yourself, be not moved. And then bringing it out. And if you wobbled and moved, that's fine, because always within every not moving in stillness, there is movement, and vice versa. So we're good. Let's come into a high lunge position. One foot is forward, one foot is back. There's some space between the heels. Tuck the toes behind. Let yourself be upright from the hips up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Hands can be on the hips as you bring the knee down and the front knee bends some, then straighten the front knee and bend and straighten, just pulsing up and down, encouraging lymph to move throughout the body. It has no heart to circulate it, but it comes through the body, cleans it out, and comes back into the bloodstream. One more time, down and up. Then bring this back foot forward. I have a chair here in front of me as a possible thing to support me as I come into a warrior 3. So we're going to just toggle the body. Foot comes out, leg reaches out slightly in the back, arms are along the side, torso comes forward a bit. And you might just continue with this movement, or you might bring that leg farther up. Body and leg might become parallel with the earth. Feel free to use chair or couch, sofa behind, under your arms. Fingers might reach back, leg might reach back, crown forward for 3, 2, and 1. Soft knee and come down. Then coming into high lunge on the other side. Finding your high lunge, your thighs coming towards your hips, hips solid across from 9 to 3. And then with an upright spine, raising and lowering. One more time. Then stepping forward with that back foot. Arms come down along the side, toggle a few times, lifting the foot, letting that one leg and the top of the body toggle. Staying with this, or perhaps reaching back through fingers and heel toes, forward through crown, coming parallel to the earth for 3, 2, and 1. Soft in the knee and come down. Good circulation of energy. Pause for a moment with hands on the heart, allowing the imprint of all of this circulation to make itself upon your heart, integrating this into your energy as it circulates throughout the body. Now we're going to come down to the mat, and we're going to be going from a knee down lunge on one end of the mat into a knee down lunge on the other side of the mat. So we're developing a circular pattern here where we do various practices in a knee down lunge over on this side, and then we come around to the other side and back and forth. There's several ways to make this turn. One is to bring the hand down, bring the back hand round, come with the hip down onto the heel, crawl across, and the hip comes down on the other hip comes down on the other heel, and then pivot round and come into a knee down lunge. You can do the same sort of thing with the hips high. So you might come across like this, crawling across with the hips high. Or, as I said towards the beginning, if you would like to just bring the knees together and turn and come into a knee down lunge on this side, that's perfectly fine too. So finding your own way here, as we do in yoga, adapting the yoga to our own bodies. We're going to start in a knee down lunge with the right foot forward. So my right foot is forward, pressing down through my left shin and the top of that foot. Bring the fingers down wide, pushing down, pulling down, and the gaze is slightly up. Left hand comes to the sacrum in the back. Right arm reaches up, gaze goes up to the thumb of that right arm as the left hand comes down across the buttocks, down towards the back of the knee. Then bring the hands down around the front foot. Bring both feet back into plank, knee down or knee up, plank for 3, 2, and 1. Elbows come in, knees come down, and come into cobra, pressing down through the pelvis and using the glutes. Take a breath here. Press into the hands, tuck the toes, up into downward dog. Knees are soft, reach back through the hips. Breath here. You might come down through your knees, or you might raise up your right foot and bring it through and come back into knee down lunge. Same right foot forward, knee down lunge in the same direction. Then bring the left hand down. Right hand comes out across, pivoting on that foot or coming down onto your knees and coming across. I'm keeping my hips high this time as they come across and into a knee down lunge on this side. Fingers reach down, gaze rises. Right hand comes down the buttocks as the left hand rises up, gaze on the thumb of that right hand up in the sky as the fingers of the right hand come down towards the knee. And bringing it back, hands come down in front, around the front foot, and bring both feet back together into a plank. Can be knee down if you'd like for 3, 2, and 1. Let yourself come down into cobra. Shoulder blades down the back. Strong through the glutes. Breath here. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, up into downward dog. Knees are soft, hips are coming back. Slight turn through the upper arms downwards. Breath here. Come down onto the knees and through, or left foot rises up and back, comes through. Come back into a left foot forward, knee down lunge. The right hand comes down in the side of that foot. The knee rises, the toes are tucked, and we come around. If you choose to do it this way, you might bring your hip down onto your heel, crawl across, other hip coming down onto other heel, pivoting round and coming into a right foot forward, knee down lunge. Bring the fingers wide, reaching down, gaze rises. Left hand comes down across the glutes and down the back thigh. Gaze reaches up towards the thumb of the raised right hand. Bring the hands together. Hands come down to frame the right foot. And bring the feet together into plank for 3, 2, and 1. Elbows together, knees down. Coming into cobra for 3, 2, and a breath. Press into the hands, tuck the toes up into downward dog. Take a breath here. Come down on your knees, or bring the right foot up and bring it through, coming into a knee down lunge, right foot forward. Left hand plants in front. Lift the knee, tuck the toes behind, or come down onto your knees and come through, or bring hips to heel as you come across and come into a knee down lunge on the other side. So here again, we're balancing the right and left sides of the body. Fingers reach down, gaze rises up. Left hand rises up, right hand comes down towards the back of the knee. Hands come down to frame the front foot. Feet come back into a plank, might be knee down or knee up. Coming down into cobra. Take a breath here. Press into the hands, tuck the toes up into downward dog. Keep it soft in the knees, long through the spine. Take a breath. Weight into the right foot, left foot rises up. If you're coming this way or through your knees, come up into left foot forward, downward, knee down lunge. And then right hand plants itself in the side, and then lift that knee in the back, tuck the toes. You might bring the hip down onto the heel, crawl across, and bring the hip down onto the other heel. Find your way and feel fine with that. And we'll do it one last time. Spread the fingers, gaze up as you pull down through the fingers. Right arm rises, left hand comes down the back of the thigh. Hands come back through the heart, around the front foot, back into plank. Elbows come close, down into cobra. Take a breath. Press into the hands, tuck the toes, and up into downward dog. Take a breath. Down on your knees and back into knee down lunge, or right foot comes up and through, back into knee down lunge. Left hand plants, right hand comes around. Find your way, perhaps coming onto your knees and just switching around onto the other side, finding yourself in a left foot forward, knee down lunge. Fingers are wide, pressing down, gaze rises. Left hand rises as right hand comes down towards the back of the knee, gaze up towards that left hand. Hands come down around the heart And then frame the front foot, coming back into plank. Elbows in, knees down, coming into cobra. Take a breath here. Tuck the toes, press up into downward dog, long knees soft. Take a breath. Coming back into knee down lunge, foot might rise up in the back and come through. And bring both hands down, and then bring both knees together. And let your buttocks come down, feet come around. And we have established our circular pattern. We are very well balanced and circulated in our Vyana Vayu, our circulating energy. Just let the legs shake a little bit here. Relaxing. Let the shake kind of come up through the shoulders as well. Relax down through the cheeks. And let the chin come down to the chest, back and forth between the shoulders. Just relaxing a little bit. Extend outwards through the heels, upwards through the crown of the head. Come forward just an inch or two. Inhale, back up. Exhale over. Perhaps you bring a bit of circular energy to the spine, a shallow C shape to the spine, and just resting down, letting the tissues become very heavy as they hang on the bones. And inhale, back up. Bring hands back behind, feet come a little wide, and let's circle the ankles. 3, 2, and 1, and round the opposite direction. 3, 2, and 1. And we'll come to a close here. Take a moment to be quiet as we end. Feeling the circulation of the blood and oxygen through the body, the beating of the heart. And bringing hands to heart center, may we plant ourselves with our roots deep and give birth again to the dream. Namaste. Thanks for practicing. Always good to practice with you. See you the next time.